Good morning, good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. Hey, Travis. How are you? Johnny, what's going on? Hey, Nate. Welcome, everyone, to the Trading Syndicate. I am JJ, and happy Friday to everybody. Hey, Rasto, what's going on? Hey, John. So, another day, another all-time high, or another night, another all-time high. And I'm not one to say I told you so, but remember yesterday I said if we get over 63.20, don't be short. We're at 63.54 now. Okay. Hey, Juan, what's up? The market will tell us what's going on. And, you know, inventory is everything, right, in markets because inventory are the goods that the markets are trying to get rid of. Order flow is the flow of business, the flow of customers coming into that market. So we will have the inventory react with the order flow, right? So if market makers are long and a bunch of buyers come in, they're going to raise price, right? That's just smart, right? It's not manipulative or anything. It's just business. Now, if you want to take a look at this, all of the inventory is underneath those old highs, right? What is the inventory? The inventory is this blue stuff. So we're going to take this now and we're going to distribute it up here, okay? So I also said don't be short going into a Friday, right? We have options expiry today, right? We may get some volatility. We may see some selling. I hope for the folks that are short underneath 63.40, 63.20 that we get some liquidation. The way the market is right now, it's not really likely. We've traded 35,000 contracts in the overnight. Overnight inventory is very long. If the market were to open up here, if this was getting close to 930, we'd open on another gap, right? One thing I've noticed about this market, we've had gaps up. The last couple of gaps we've filled, right? The last couple of gaps up we've filled, but then we've traded higher, right? That is kind of scary because that means there's quite a bit of buying in those gaps when we fill them, right? And follow through buying. Something to note, right? Sometimes you have gaps that don't fill and then you have gaps that do, and then when they do fill and then move higher, you got to pay attention to that, right? You have to pay attention to that. So those are things that we're looking at. Yesterday I said, so our upper levels, right? We might as well just go look at upper levels and see what happens here. We're over 63.49 and the top of this next zone is 63.88. The levels are 59, 69, 79, and 88 and 3/4. So you should all have those in the room if you're a longer trader, term trader. until we get underneath and take out overnight low, we're not going to get anything lower. So the overnight low is what, 63.38? That level has to break for any kind of movement down, right? Once again, when you're at all-time highs, the price action is going to be choppier, right? But here you can clearly see, you can see this was the inventory at the end of the day, right? Close and point of control. We took that and we sold it here. This sideways motion created price stability, which brought in buyers. Once again, sideways here, brought in buyers, right? Price stability will do this. Now, what we do is we watch this K low and see if it can come back down to 51. Okay, that's market profile. Let's go take a look at the 1-minute chart. The 1-minute chart, my balance zone on the 1-minute is 44.75 to 48. Double it to 54, double it again to 67. VWAP's at 49, so we just mark that off. Then we get all that crap off the screen so it's nice and clean. And now we've done a look above and fail of 54.5. So for example, if you are wanting to short this, right, this is a good setup, right? Now the setup might be great, but what I'm watching now is we looked above and failed 54. If there's no seller here and there's no seller here, short's not going to work, right? We need that seller to be right here. So let's leave that in and see, right? So if you were thinking about shorting this, right, we need that offer, that red line, to come underneath 54. So say you're selling the 54s, 54.5, right? You're going to use 55 as a stop, right? So I'm short one at 54, right? Offered at 54.25, right? Now, the market's been bid down here, right? Look, that's where the bids are. So where would I put a buy order? I'd put a buy order at, say, 52.75. Short 54, buy order 52.75. If we can't get down underneath 53.50, right? I need those sellers to keep pushing this thing lower. See, the sellers are the red line. They went up. There's a look above and fail of 54.5, so I shorted 54, right? My stop's just right here, right? And I'm testing this to see if we get normal market action. If we get normal market action, we should backfill a little bit. There should be a little bit of a sale. If we don't get that little bit of a sale, the market's telling me, psst, 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 buddy, you're getting high on your own supply, right? There's got to be supply if you're a short seller, right? If you see that there's no supply, why would you short a market? Just because it's too high? Now, I was talking to somebody and we were saying, people, they see a market go up, they miss the long, and that happens, right? Everybody misses trades. And then they go, oh, you know what? It's too high to buy it, so I got to short it. That's not a good business strategy, right? I don't feel good about buying it up here, so I'm just gonna short it. But you have to have a seller, right? So I need that offer to move down. Come on down. The price is right, right? We need sellers to compete. And when sellers compete, they mark down price, right? Just like when Walmart and Target compete selling the same TV, right? Just like when two car dealerships have the same car, and a lot of them, they will price compete. But if buyers are lining up, you don't have to price compete. So I'm still short one at 54. I'm bid at 52 and 3/4. And let's see if we actually get any liquidation, right? And my risk isn't that high. It's basically 55. I'm going to scratch, right? I'm out. Because if I lose my 55 seller, what's the point in me being short, right? If you want to be a big spender, go 55 and a quarter, right? Spend the extra $1.25, right? But this is how you trade with intelligence, right? You're not just randomly trading a pattern. You're actually trading the business that's taking place that's creating the chart. And there's a difference between actually trading the business that's taking place because you know why the price is moving, right? If you understand why the price is moving, you're not going to stay in bad trades. If you understand what's going on, you're not going to make stupid decisions, right? The only reason traders make bad, irresponsible, undisciplined decisions is because they don't understand the business. Now, you don't have to know how to run a market making firm, but you have to understand how markets work, how inventory and order flow work. Now, do you see how the sellers have come down? Right there. That's what we want. We want the sellers to keep moving down. If we lose that seller, it's kind of a warning sign because I'm short at 54. If we start offering 54 half, eh, right? If we start offering over 54 and 3/4, see how the sellers are, they're there, but they're not really aggressive. What I like to see is when it gets up there, it just gets hammered down. But in this market, that's less likely to happen because we're at all-time highs. Right? Yeah, this is a more patient trade for me. The reason is because I was up till like 1 in the morning last night with the young kids from my building. So I don't know. I'm a little bit more patient this morning, right? The reason for my trade still exists, so I'm still in the trade, right? I'm trying to be a bit more patient this morning. I'm also moving a little slower vs squat. This is really slow. 36,000 contracts is not much at this time. But it's slow enough, which means it's good to learn, right? If you're learning how to short sell, this is a great opportunity to actually see the mechanics. Hey, Cisco, hello. Are you in Hawaii? We have some Hawaiian members in our room. Oh, cool. What island? How's it? I lived there in the 80s. Oahu? Nice. I went to UH 1987. Oh, cool. Yeah, I loved it. Should have never left. Oh, chop, chop, chop. Oh, come on, sell it. There we go. There we go. Boy, you're getting excited about 2 ticks, eh? Gee whiz. Right. And now the sellers are here. Right. Now, if they don't if they don't come down and break 53, right, I'll have to cover 53, 53 and a quarter. Oh, look, bastards. Some buyers came in and they raised price. Oh, cool. No worries, James. That was great, but I'll follow you back too. I'll follow people back. I just haven't been very diligent with my Twitter account. Oh, there's a lot of bots on Twitter now. It's really weird. Like you post something and you get all these weird spam messages, and I think Elon needs to get back to work instead of instead of, instead of trying to run the country. Just run the companies that you're running. Clean up Twitter. So we have sellers at 54 and a quarter. This market is like, you know what this market is like? It's like waiting in line for the DMV at the DMV in your short. I do not have any market maker friends that are option market makers. I haven't in, oh God, 30 years, 25 years easily. That was a different time when people would put in trades over the phone. Most of my market faker friends are retired or they've passed away. Um, it's a young man's business, market making. And now, of course, it's a mathematician's business, right? The 0 and 1 mafia run that whole business, right? So if you can't code, you don't get jobs on Wall Street desks unless you have math degrees and coding skills. I miss, I I started retail trading and I found it really boring and I found it really hard. So that's why we opened up the trading room so we could have, the trading syndicate, so you have people to talk to while you're waiting for a trade and maybe joke around a little bit, take the pressure off, stay loose. So when your trade actually does present itself that you're nice and relaxed. Yeah, I mean now everything's all about the math, right? And that's okay, that's good, right? We have to adapt with change. And algos are much more efficient than human beings, right? And you don't have to bail them out of jail at 3 in the morning. Human market makers are very high maintenance, you know? They're really high maintenance. Oh no, the offer's lifting. Uh-oh. Oh, seller came back. Oh. Who's got earnings today? Raj, anybody exciting? It's still the banks, right? Oh, Netflix. Or was that yesterday? Can you explain how you knew how many contracts are traded? Oh, sorry, Nate. I had it on the wrong thing. Right here. You see this number here? Volume? Travis, can I ask you a question? How do you find the market sentiment to be 61% short for July? Where is that published? Yeah, sure. You can look. Um, Hang on, Nate. Let me get that for you. You see here? You just have a quote board. I'm flat. I got stopped out of that. Do you see how you just put in the symbol in the quote board and it says like the number of trades and the total volume. So I'm stopped out of that short. Netflix was yesterday. It'll say on most quote systems what your volume is. I'm just curious where they get that. Is that like a survey they did? Where did you look? Oh, forexclientsentiment.com. Never even heard of that. Huh. I'm just curious because I see people post that all the time, the sentiment, and I'm like, do they do a survey? Is that how that's done? Just curious. So if everyone's sentiment short and the market's going up, kind of tells you why it's going up, right? I tell you, the best way to move a stock up is to get enough people to short it. I love doing that. Works for a market too. Oh, thanks, Johnny. You know, the more people short a market, the easier it is to keep it higher. How high can it go? Until people stop buying it, then they'll put it on sale. What you got to think of is you have to think of supply, Rocky. Rocky, you didn't live in Vancouver at one time, did you? And were a stock promoter? What do you think about the quantum short squeezes? What are quantum short squeezes? That's one I've never heard of. I haven't looked. I'll have to take a look. IONQRGTI. Rigatoni. I'll have to look. I love a good short squeeze. I haven't really been looking at a lot of equities lately. What I've been doing is I get the aftermarket um, report from scans, and I just look at dollar volume. You know, he who sells the most wins. Oh, quantum computer stocks. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's right. Quantum computers is the new. It's the new hot button, right? Finance is wonderful because finance goes and looks to see what's hot, and then all of a sudden these new deals pop up. Like Bitcoin deals or AI deals. Now it's quantum computing. I'll have to take a look. Gosh, this is slow, isn't it? Oof. You know what would be a fun deal to do? And I haven't done one in, God, easily over 10 years, maybe 15, is a treasure hunter deal. Treasure hunter deals are fun. You find like some old shipwreck somewhere, drop it into a publicly traded shell, and you can just sell stock all day long. People love a good treasure hunter deal. Pirates, spin a good yarn. It's wonderful. Yes, I do know who Martin, I don't know how to pronounce his last name is, but yes, I do remember him. Guess he had his 15 minutes of fame, right? Well, slimy but pretty intelligent. That applies to a lot of Wall Street. Slimy but intelligent. That'd look funny on a t-shirt. Oh, okay, we've got sellers at 54 quarter. They stopped selling at 53, so it's very difficult to trade this. London's going to open in a minute and a half. Let's see if London's had any caffeine and can do anything with this market. Otherwise, this is going to be a snooze fest. I'm looking for inventory to correct lower. Inventory does not have to correct lower if there's enough desperate buyers in the market. Golly. This is the worst kind of short to be in. I'm just thinking about those people who shorted yesterday under 63.20, and now this thing's just stuck, you know. Oh, okay. I've never heard of them. Yeah, I haven't really. There's so much stuff out there in the FinTwit universe. Oh, point of control moved up, Howard. Right, good distribution. It's hard to keep track of who's who anymore. Like, everyone's got a YouTube channel. Everyone's got this going on. Is that a real name, Shea Bueller, or is that like a fake name? Like that guy Zach Morris using a fake name. Look, liquidation. And the offer lifts. Oh, Howard. We had Howard on our podcast a couple of years ago. Smart dude. Hey, Lara, how are you? Well, I'm not friends with him. He was on our podcast once. I haven't spoken to him since. He's a sharp dude. He's a sharp guy. He's done very well. That's the cool thing about having that podcast. We've been able to talk to some really smart people over the years. Learn a thing or two. The lesson tonight is stay in bed. Cooper's Treasure? Okay, I'll have to watch that. I love treasure hunter deals. They're full of intrigue, and retail loves them. Index trading has been difficult lately, hasn't it? You know, what I've found, folks, and those of you who are running out of patience, I understand and I empathize with you, right? Um, I found how it's working for me is I'm taking maybe 3 trades a day. And I've been lucky in the last sort of 5 trading sessions where I do a couple of test trades. I take one decent trade and then that's it. I stop. Um, and usually where you do 6 to 8 trades, I'm doing 3. And I'm very happy to get one good trade a day in this market. You know, after the fact, it's always easy to look at the chart and go, yeah, I bought here and I sold here and I'm a millionaire. But when these markets, I hate trading all-time highs. Remember after COVID, it was like all-time high after all-time high after all-time high? Yeah, one and done, Rocky, right? As soon as I get that loot, I run like a thief in the night. You know what? I, unfortunately, and I have nothing against the VIX, I always forget to look at it. This happens every time. It just happened now, right? Somebody brings up the VIX and I'm like, oh, I should be looking at that. But I never do. It's not part of my routine. I understand it's very useful. I get my risk management from how the price action is, how the market, and that's why I only trade ES. So I know ES intimately, right? I like trading one market. Trading one market is like having one girlfriend, right? You pay attention, you know when she's in a bad mood, you know when to go hide in the garage, you know when she's a good mood, right? It's less stressful for me, right? I always forget about the VIX, right? Yeah, and Laura, trading all-time highs, I really wish we could like get some liquidation. Like this is getting a little out of hand, right? But the problem is the way this market has been created. Markets are created, my friends, right? Well, it's just easier. If you're dating like 3 or 4 girls, you always mix up stuff and you get into trouble and it's just bad, right? You just get one girlfriend and concentrate on her, right? That's what if markets are like that with me, just one, right? Just so you can pay attention, right? But yeah, trading all-time highs because there's no structure and the order flow is so unpredictable at all-time highs, right? But the markets have been created to be marked up, right? Because how do people make money in the stock market? How does the smart money make money? They gather assets and they charge a percentage of assets under management, right? So if you have a billion in assets under management, you get 20 million in fees. You get a billion and a half, it's 30 million in fees. So why would you sell assets, right? Rich people take margin loans on their stock, right? Um, they don't pay capital gains, so they just take margin loans, and everybody does that. There's no reason to sell. Do I have thoughts on Chem? You know, he used to be in my room. He's a nice guy, right? But I have no idea what the heck he talks about, right? I don't understand it. I don't understand the whole gamma thing. I'm not poo-pooing it. I just don't have the brains to understand what the hell he's talking about and how to put it into a trade. Now, I know a lot of people use it, and I think that's great. If you're making money, right? He's a nice guy, but it's above my pay grade. Like I don't understand gamma, right? Yeah, he's a good guy, you know, but it's just a little too lofty for my head. I'm an old eye gouger, right? You know, poke him in the eye and hit the bid. That's how we used to do business, right? It's just so all of this stuff, while it, you know, I'm sure it's valid and I'm sure people use it, right? But I don't know how to use it to make money. And right now, folks, we're in a barcode, right? Doesn't that chart, like if I got rid of all these lines, hang on. That looks like a barcode on a box of cereal, right? Very difficult to trade. I wish I had the brain power to understand what the hell they were talking about. I don't. So they get into these discussions and I'm lost. Like within the first 30 seconds I'm like, "Huh?" Like I feel like that kid in high school who didn't do his homework, sitting in the back of the class, right? I think all the power to them. Listen, like I always say, like if you've got a thing going, if you've got action going and you know how to work it to make money, make your paper, boo boo. I got nothing. I'm not going to throw shade on it. But if I don't understand it, I can't teach it and I can't trade it. We really need some liquidation. This is getting ridiculous. The problem is, how long will the liquidation last? I mean, if we break, I'd be looking at 51 and a half, which is not the greatest short trade. Go for it, AZS. I'm right behind you. Whew. Well, there's 53. That's the lowest print I've seen since we started. Oh, 52 and 3/4. That's where my buy order was on that short. So what, I was like half an hour too early on that short? No, I don't know what Rocket Lab is. Sorry. I haven't watched a lot of stocks lately. Oh, look. Let's see if we can get down to 51. Come on now. Big push. Hey, what's up, Phil? Yeah, I'm not giving any money back today. I'll wait. I'll wait for my trade. We are stuck in the mud, John. We are at all-time highs and nobody really wants to buy it. The only people who are buying this are people who are forced to buy it. Every liquidation is getting bought up quickly. Overnight inventory is long, John, and we're looking for a correction downwards. We're getting one, but it's kind of like maple sap running down a tree in Quebec in the middle of winter. It's kind of a slow process. It's not really gushing out. Yeah, I have to admit, James, this week I have not been really watching a lot of financial news. I blame one of the guys in the room. He started sending me all this Epstein news, and I was like, okay, just stop sending me news. I don't want to see this stuff. It's like too disturbing. And I just kind of stopped watching news all week. Oh yeah, I was like, it was brutal. Here we go. Come on down to 51. Let's go to flavor country. There we go. There's 51 and a half. Nice short AZS. Finally. Impeccable timing, my friend. I was way too early on that short. There's 51 and 50. Finally, a liquidation. Wow. Beautiful. You timed that just perfectly. Yeah, see, when you guys say things like Vega, I think of like a 1976 Chevy Vega, which was a car. So, yeah, once again, I am not an options guy or, you know, I have respect for those guys, but I just don't understand it. So I just kind of stay clear of things I don't understand. Let's see if we can take out VWAP. Nice work, Howard. Take the money and run. Beautiful. Oh, that was actually very satisfying to see a sell order. Jeez. Little relief for our shorts. Oh, let's see. Maybe we do a look below and fail of 48. And we just came back to this cost basis here. That was good. Very refreshing. The obvious place for bids now will be here at 46. Little bounce off VWAP. You want to do a little responsive long off VWAP. Your stop's going to be, I'd probably use the bottom of this candle here as a stop if you're long. Right. The perfect trade is a look below and fail here, but if it doesn't get down to 48, right, and you're buying, a lot of people will do this look below and fail of VWAP. And if you are, right, that's where your stop will be. And you'll be looking for sort of 51 1/4 as your first level up to see if we can get up there. Right? I'm out one at 51 1/4. Yeah, I'm going to be out both of them there. Okay, chart. So, are you on stream? Okay. So, when the market looks below and fails, right? You let this happen. When it fails, you buy this area here. You use 48 as a stop. If the market's volatile, you'll use one of the lower candles here as a stop, and then you'll put sell orders up to sell into strength. Now, the first couple of times you do it, it's going to be horrible. You'll be stumbling around, right? So you're not trying to buy 48. What you want to do is you want to pay up, because how the trade works is the sell orders that take the market underneath 48, right? They'll complete. So those orders are completed. There's no reason now for the seller to sell under 48. So you buy 48 half, 49, and your stop is 48. The business reason is as follows. If I'm buying 48 and a half, it's because I want to sell it at 50.51. If somebody offers it for sale under 48, the business reason for my trade is no longer valid and I'm out. Does that make sense? Right? Very simple. Now, as with anything in life that's a physical act of execution, saying it and seeing it on paper are one thing different than actually taking it in real life. So what you do is you practice it. You use the sim and you practice it on the sim so you get the sequence of keystrokes in your software. So you get to understand how your software works and you can put orders in your software without fumbling about, right? Execution is a physical process. You have to work on your execution and you have to do trades 500 to 1,000 times. Just like Michael Jordan when he did 1,000 free throws, right? It's the repetition that trains your muscle memory. That's why when you first start taking this trade, you're fumbling around, you're getting stopped out, you're messing it up. That's normal. That's completely normal. But you have to work through that. And eventually, as markets change, you'll get, yeah, right? If you just recently started using, I don't know what a super dom chart is, send me a screenshot, right? Yeah, any kind of DOM or order entry software, it's a lot easier than putting it in on your chart, messing around, right? Learn, learn how to put in those orders, right? Yeah, there you go, right? So what you do, here's the sequence of events, right? When you do this, you put in your buy order and you put in your stop. As soon as your buy order gets executed, you put your sell orders out, right? So they get in line, right? Okay? So we'll do an execution class in the room maybe today if you guys feel like it. But it's really simple and all it is repetition so you're not fumbling around using your software. You want to have mastery of your software. Just like kids have a mastery of a video game, right? I mean, the kids in my building are on this PlayStation 342, Xbox 75, all this stuff. I have no idea what they're doing, but they gave me one of those controllers, and I didn't even know what to do, right? And that's what it's like when you're trading because you have to use the software to input your orders, right? So you have to be proficient at putting your orders in. That's a physical act, and you have to practice over and over and over again so you can go and put in, because what you want to do is you want to be looking at the chart and putting your trades in on the DOM, right? And you want to have it next to your chart so you can look at basically that. It's the video I did yesterday on how support is created. Right? But yeah, we'll do an execution class. It's just practice. That's all it is. It's just practice, 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 practice. Right? You know, in the old days, floor traders would stand in front of each other and use hand signals. Then it went to phone trading, where you had to pick up the phone and put orders in on the phone. Then it went to electronic trading, where you enter the orders in using a mouse or using a keyboard, right? But all of that is just basic. It's a mechanical skill that you just have to practice, right? And at first, you're going to suck at it. Everybody does, right? I have never seen anybody ever in 33 years of doing this and meeting thousands and thousands of traders in my lifetime. I've never seen anybody who sits down at a computer and is like a prodigy. You know, it's not like somebody sitting down at a piano and playing Mozart or, you know, or playing a Beethoven piano concerto without having any, like I've heard of that. I've never actually seen a prodigy, right? But I've never seen a trading prodigy. I've never seen anybody sit down and just start trading and make money without ever having touched the software, without ever having understood how a market works, right? And that's what we do at the Trading Syndicate. Oh, and please, I got to put in a plug for the room. Use that 25% off code. It's like 50 cents a day. It's less than $1 a day. Come join us. We'll teach you how to trade. We'll teach you practical information so you can actually make money, right? CAs, yes. Have a good weekend, brother. Get some rest. Yeah, exactly. You know what? It's funny. I was saying that just earlier this morning. I was talking about that guy in Limitless, right? Where he just sat down, took a couple of pills, twirled his pen around, and next thing you know, he was a genius. But that's a Hollywood movie, right? We're looking for 48 on the downside, folks. Right? You just have to power through the frustration. It's like anything else, you know? It's a physical skill. You'll get it. Just put in the work. Oh. Well, folks, the ultimate inventory correction is to come back down and tag yesterday's close at 42 quarter. There will be trap shorts under yesterday's high here. That's why you might get some front running here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I've actually never seen a musical prodigy. You know, my parents made me take the violin when I was a kid, and it sounded like you were like torturing an animal, and I didn't stick with it, right? Look below and fails work during the entire day when the setup presents itself. No, it's not just the market open. Works all the time. Now, if the price action is choppy, the trade of course is harder. You want some nice smooth price action, which is nice. Oh yeah, there's single prints down there at 44. Thanks, Dave. I didn't even see that. Thank you. I missed that. No, the look below and fail works. You know what the look below and fail is? Remember the video that we did yesterday, Chart? I think it's good if you maybe go and rewatch it. Sell orders take a market down, then those sell orders complete, and the market will rotate back up looking for supply. Right? If you watch that over and over again, you'll start to get familiar with it. Right? And keep asking questions. It's good. Look below and fails work really good and better in a market that's in an uptrend or if it's going sideways. That depends. I don't see the other thing, Chart, is you want to look at what's your sample size on that success rate? Is it like 1,000 trades? 500 trades? Like, what's your sample size on that success rate? The success ratio is all dependent on your level of skill and the order flow at the time. Right? So I got to ask you, how many times have you taken the look below and fail versus the look above and fail, right? Or is it like 20 or 30 times? Give it some time. Be patient with it, right? Give it some time and be patient with it. That's what I say. Don't The thing is, in trading, a lot of new traders, they'll go, "Oh, this only works for me," or "I can't trade this," or "I can't do that." Well, how many times have you done it? 15, 20? Right? You have to be realistic about things, right? You have to, "Oh, I've only done this like 20 or 30 times, but it doesn't work for me." It's not really valid, right? If you've done it 500 or 1,000 times and it doesn't work for you, now you have a sample size. The reason it's not working for you is you haven't developed the skill. That is the hard fact of life. The reason something's not working for you, it's not because the process or the business transaction is flawed. It's because you have not developed the skill, right? And that's a reason a lot of traders get into trouble is they don't take the time to develop the skill. They think that they should understand how to do something really quickly. It'd be like me walking into a hospital and going, "Hey, I'm here to do a mitral valve replacement. Do some cardiothoracic surgery." Well, did you go to medical school? No. Have you taken human anatomy? No. But I watched a YouTube video, so I should be able to do this surgery. Think about it, right? It takes time to develop skill, right? We all go through the frustration. We've all been there. Don't worry, it'll get better. And with that, I've been talking too long. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend if I don't see you at 9 o'clock. And we will see you at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Embrace the frustration. Make it your friend. you'll see a difference. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day, and if we don't see you later on today, have a wonderful and safe weekend. Enjoy the sun. Bye for now.